Hi, this is Java Simplified. Today we will be looking at how to use print statements in Java. So after you have installed BlueJ and opened it, you will arrive at this screen. First we have to create a project. So let's do that. Go to the top left hand corner and click project. Now you can click new project. So we have to give a name to our project and it can be any name. Just remember the location in which you have saved your project so that when we start doing more files in the same project, you can easily go and access them if you know the reference point. So I will name my project as Java project. You can name yours anything else you'd like. Once we create a project, we can see that the screen has changed. It says that we can use the edit menu to create or add a class. By default, programming in Java is done in a class. So let's go ahead and create that class. Let's go to the left side of the screen and click new class. And similarly, this class name can be anything you'd like. But just remember to make sure that your language is Java and that you have selected class and not any of the other options given. I will title my program as Hello World. So once I have clicked the OK button, we can see that a yellow box has appeared, and once we double click that box, we can see that there is a lot of starter code. You don't have to worry about the starter code for now, you can just delete it. As I mentioned earlier, programming in Java can only be done in classes, and inside classes it can only be done in methods for now. So let me show you the syntax of how to declare a class and you can follow along with me. So the syntax is public space class space the name of your class, and since I've named my class Hello World, this is what I'll be using. Remember that Java is case sensitive, so Hello World is different. This Hello World with H and W capital is different from Hello World with H and W small. So let's just bring it back to the original Hello World. And now since we have to do it in the class, we have to program in the class, we have to open the class, which means we have to add these curly brackets so that we can signify the opening and closing of the class. Now once we put our cursor in the middle of both of those curly brackets, we can see that we are inside the class. And now we have to go inside the method. Typically, larger programs are divided into many methods, but for now we will be doing programs with only one method. And generally the name of that method is main. So let me show you how to declare the method. It is public void and main. Of course, your method you could declare instead of main, it could be cat or anything. It could be just about anything. But for now, do not change either the public or void. They represent those are called keywords and they represent certain use cases in Java. This void keyword, for example, signifies that there is no return type, but we'll talk about that later. Alright, so now that we are inside our class and also inside the method, we can get started on the print statements. In Java, there are two types of print statements. One is system.out.println and the other is system.out.print. For now, we can just focus on system.out.println. So ideally, in between these parentheses, we write something in double quotes, a piece of text or a line of text in double quotes. And this data type is known as a string, but when we get to data types, we'll talk more in depth about this. So inside the string, we can type whatever we want and that will get printed. But just remember to keep whatever you'd like to type within the double quotes so that BlueJ doesn't throw an error. So let's start off with hi. I am happy. And another thing to remember is that many of these statements end with a semicolon, and a semicolon is used to tell BlueJ or Java that this statement is terminating. For example, we see that the class declaration and the method declaration do not have semicolons, because if we put a semicolon over that, it would terminate with that line. And since all of our code needs to be in a class and almost all of our code needs to be in a method, we cannot terminate the class or the method on the line on which we declare it. And in any case, there are some special keywords or special functions where we do not have to put the semicolon, and we'll look at that as we go on. So now let's test our small program. And to do that, you have to go all the way to the left corner and click compile. When we click compile, BlueJ checks for any errors, and if there are any errors, it will show red squiggly lines. And if there aren't any errors, once we go to the bottom of the screen, we can see that the class has been compiled and that there are no syntax errors. So now we can click this X icon, and now we can right click on our hello world, and now we can click new hello world. You don't have to worry about the name of the instance, we can just click OK. And once we click OK, we can see that there is a red box in the bottom left corner of the screen. So once we right click that, we can see our void main, the same method we used in the hello world program. And now once we click that, we can see whatever we printed in the system.out.println method. So hi, I am happy. So this shows that our program is correct. So now let's try something else. So let's add in another line. System, it's the same thing, system.out.println. Remember that the S is capital. This is my first Java program. So now let's compile this again, and we can see that the class has been compiled and there are no errors. And once we repeat the same processes we did last time, we get to our output screen. And now we can see that hi, I am happy, and this is my first Java program have been printed on 2 different lines. And another good thing to do would be to click options and click clear screen at method call, so that after you update your program, whenever a new red box appears, it will erase whatever was there previously, so that you can just focus on the snippets of code of the current program or the current iteration of the program. So now that we can see how system.out.println was in action, let me show you how this compares to system.out.print. So we can keep the same 2 pieces of text. Let's just remove the ln in both lines and see what happens. System.out.print, and this is also system.out.print. So let's compile the class. We can see that the class has been compiled and that there are no syntax errors. So now we can create another object or another red box. Now once we right click and click void main, we can see that hi, I am happy, and this is my first Java program has been printed on the same line. Notice that there is no space between the full stop of the previous sentence and the capital T of the next sentence, because Java only prints what you want it to. It cannot look for full stops and print an extra space. And we can clearly see that the system.out.print option enables you to print it on the same line. So even if you have 100 other statements, 100 other system.out.print statements under this, all of them will get printed on the same line. And when you are using system.out.print multiple times in a program or consecutively, remember to watch your spacing, because now if I add an extra space before THIS, whatever we saw previously will not occur. So let's right click, click new hello world, and now when we execute it, we can see hi, I am happy, and after the full stop there is a space. So this is all there is to know about print statements in Java for now. You guys can try a few print statements of your own and let me know how it went in the comments. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments as well, and I will see you in the next lesson.